final Downton Abbey trailer is here, and I knew it, I knew it, I knew it. Mary is in her divorced era, and I am here for it. I think this new trailer is proof that, in terms of Downton Abbey, Mary was always going to be the answer despite any roadblocks. I loved the Mary Matthew storyline, but it highlighted this unfair tradition of sometimes far-off male family members inheriting estates over women who might have grown up there or contributed to its development in some way. One of the most interesting storylines was watching Mary, who was extremely sharp, intelligent, and capable, have to grapple with her potentially losing an estate she knew that she would be able to handle, while simultaneously falling in love with the person who could take it away from her. It was just so juicy at the time. Mary and Matthew getting married temporarily somewhat solved that issue, which I think was arguably the pinnacle of all the rest of the stories. Whoever gets the estate determines what happens with it, who stays on his staff, if it gets sold, etc., etc. So a woman who could not directly inherit it, marrying the person who would, and then having the male heir, wrapped up the high stakes of what would happen to Downton in the future. Mary's second marriage felt rushed, almost like the writers didn't quite know what to do with her unless she was in a romantic storyline. But historically, a widowed woman in the aristocracy, especially one who had already produced an heir, often had far more freedom than her unmarried or married counterparts. Widows could control significant finances, wield real influence in the running of estates, and navigate society with a level of autonomy that was otherwise rare for women of their class. While Mary's situation is complicated by Robert still being alive, there was still so much narrative potential in exploring her role as a modern, estate-savvy woman in a rapidly changing era. Instead, it felt like her storyline defaulted back to courtship and romance, whereas Edith's arc offered a bit more of a dynamic portrayal of an aristocratic woman, balancing personal growth with professional ambition. Mary could have been a powerful symbol of the new kind of estate mistress emerging in the 1930s, not just a romantic lead, but a figure of authority and transition for Downton Abbey. I think this last film is going to show that. I think it's going to be so much more interesting having Mary be a 1930s divorcee, navigating the press and becoming like a chic socialite, finally really focused on what she can do with her life, the future of Downton Abbey. Centering Mary in this final film brings Downton Abbey full circle, returning the spotlight to the person now tasked with shaping its future. As the 1930s usher in sweeping changes to the traditional estate system and to British society as a whole, Mary's leadership reflects both continuity and adaptation. With a woman now firmly at the helm, the film acknowledges that the world of Downton is evolving. Landscapes are shifting, roles are being redefined, and the estate itself is not immune to change. But rather than viewing this transformation with fear, the story suggests that change is not only inevitable, but it is survivable. I think the central theme of this final Downton Abbey film will be the spirit of Downton Abbey. All who made it will endure.